Tansetoya, kakiao nuwakomagnak, kinanaskum tinuao. My friends, my relatives, thanking you all, and a very special good evening and greeting to Mahingin Pimoteo, Danse, Walking Wolf, Chief Willie Littlechild. What a very special night, what a very special evening. Taking the time to honor, lift up, acknowledge, and thank you, Willie, for all your work you've done locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, for all of our First Nations people, indeed Indigenous peoples globally. You've done so many things. We know, of course, all the work you've done since 1977 on the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Huge accomplishment for all of us. And now we see it. That has been accomplished through your dedication, your commitment, and your hard work. Thank you so much for being part of the team that brought that to fruition. You've done a lot of firsts, and I have a list of them here, so I want to read them out so I don't forget anything. You won the Tom Longboat, the award in 1967 and in 1974 for sports and excellence in the sporting and recreation field. You were also awarded the Order of Canada in 1988, and you were also inducted into not one, but 7 Sports Hall of Fame. You've led the way. You are also the first Treaty Indian to get a law degree in Alberta. You're part of the Conservative Party of Canada. You're a member of Parliament there. You are also a Grand Chief for Treaty 6. You're also a TRC Commissioner, Truth and Reconciliation Commissioner. And that was a huge service for all of our people dealing with the residential schools, the genocide of that, and our survivors and families. Thank you for that. A few years back when I was FSIN Chief, I also called upon you to chair our Justice Inquiry in Saskatchewan when we were finding our frozen people frozen outside the city of Saskatoon on the twilight tours. So you helped bring about change in the justice system for us. You've also worked so hard on promoting our languages, the preservation, the promotion, protection of our Indigenous languages, which resulted in not only the year for Indigenous languages, but now the decade through the United Nations Declaration for Indigenous Languages Revitalization. We have a decade now to focus on our languages. So we thank you for that. You have done so much for our people. And you know, Willie, through all these high-level accomplishments and all these things you've done, you've remained a very humble person. You have not angered yourself in any way. You've not raised your voice. You've carried yourself with honor, pride, and dignity. And I can't think of a better person to honor in this way, because all those 7 sacred teachings we have, they apply to you. You carry yourself with truth, with honesty, with love, respect, with courage, with wisdom and humility. They all apply to Chief Willie Littlechild. And tonight, I had no hesitation in trying to come up with these words to honor you, because it's so easy to lift you up, because you're a very special human being. And to your family, to Helen and all your children and grandchildren, you're surrounded by your community members. I want to thank you all for sharing Willie with all of us. He's a very special man. And I know there's sacrifices and there's commitments and things you've had to give up by sharing him with all of us. But thank you so much for doing that. Indeed, it's had an impact for all of us, not only across Turtle Island, but indeed globally. I want to thank you so much for doing what you're doing now to honor and lift him up. Ekuse, ken naskum tenoa.